Let's play a game, all right? On the count of three, name your favorite dinosaur. Don't even think about it. Just name it. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Velociraptor.
What? Did we just become best friends?
Yup.
You want to go do karate in the garage?
Yup.
This is the Karate in the Garage podcast with Mason Merrill and Weston Toth. Welcome back to another edition of the Karate in the Garage podcast. I'm your host, Mason Merrill, and with me again today is my co-host, Weston Toth. How you doing, man?
Oh, dude. Talking to my bud. Got an Arnold Palmer. I'm ready to go.
Oh, man, I am drinking some Lime Zevia sparkling water right now.
Oh, lime. Oh, wait, Zevia makes sparkling water?
Yeah, dude, it is so good, too. Yeah, man, it's a game changer.
Man, I go with the Waterloos myself.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we actually, that's an Austin thing that we just got here, and we're way north of you. So we just got that here at the local grocery stores, though. We were pretty excited.
Nice. Dude, it's pretty crazy because sparkling water, it's kind of like when you first started drinking like beer or like wine or something. You know, you start with like the Bud Lights of beers, and then your palate grows. You're like, oh, this actually isn't that good. And then you'll get like, I don't know, some craft beer. Well, you know, everyone starts with like LaCroix, and then they're like, oh, these are not too bad. But then eventually when you have like Waterloo, you realize, wow, LaCroix is terrible.
Yeah, or the Zevia sparkling water. It's pretty close in
flavor,
goodness.
Nice.
Yeah, in goodness. Yeah. So, and then there's, if I don't want any flavor, there's the Topo Chico, and that's a Texas thing as well.
I mean, it's a Mexico thing, but yeah, it's definitely a.
Well, it's like it's come into the States through Texas.
Oh yeah, well, very true. But
yeah,
Topo Chico's the gold standard. I got like 50 in my fridge right now.
Yeah, the first time I ever had that was at your wife's parents' house. So
really,
your in-laws'
that's the
house.
first time.
Yeah, first time I ever had it. Yeah.
Yes, it definitely is more central. Yeah, dude, in Austin, that's what. If you ask for sparkling water around here, you're gonna get a Topo Chico.
Dude, I'm okay with that.
Yeah,
100%.
It's a little spicy though, you know. It kind of gets like it's so bubbly, it's almost spicy.
Yeah, I'm gonna cut that out for a sound drop on the podcast.
Man.
Anyway, good times. So you doing all right otherwise,
man,
other than our love of sparkling water talk?
I mean, hey, if you don't love sparkling water, you're basically just not an adult at this point.
No. I mean, that's when you know you've ascended into the next level. It's like I used to love Coke. Well, I still love Coke, but
I do too. Like
I used to just want to drink Coke all the time and drink Coke all the time. Now I just want to drink Coke, but I drink sparkling water because I'm trying to lose weight.
Oh, dude, it's just the sign of getting like into your 30s is if you pick up a bottle of sparkling water rather than a soda. It's just, I mean, it's just, yeah. I'm telling you, it's just maturity right there. Even though it sucks, and Coke is way better.
Yep, it's the circle of life, man.
But doing good, man. Just working like an absolute monster. I'm obviously still in swimming pools, and it's the summer, and all the kids are out, and people want their pools redone and fixed up. So hey, you gotta call me.
Yeah, it's weird because we've kind of built this community of guys who did swimming pools where we were all friends and things like that, and I just like not being out of it for my second season this year is so weird to me. It's like I feel so disconnected. My old boss called me the other day. He's like, yeah, big weekend coming up. I'm like, what? He's like, Memorial Day. I was like, oh, yeah, that's happening. That's a thing right now. Yeah. So anyway, we moved into our studio that I was talking about last week for work. And so I'm here live at the studio, and everything's been going good. Finally got all that set up. That's why we took another week off because I just didn't have any of my equipment up and running. So been doing some painting and some renovating and some building and some different things. So
dude, you're just like Bob the Builder.
Right. Yeah, not really, but we'll just say that. Bob the Furniture Builder.
Hey, bro, we all need furniture, okay?
Yeah.
That's cool. So you like the space? Is it
Oh God, it's so awesome. I can't wait for you to come check it out. It's so much better. My desk is epic.
Helping with the creative juices?
Oh yeah, for sure. Like it's gonna be good. I get to finally get back to doing my real work starting tomorrow, and then next week we got a new hire we're bringing in, so it should be some good times.
Ooh, new hire. That sounds spicy.
Yeah, we just need some help. So need some research and development. So.
I mean, not all. I mean, you got to spread the love of just bags of money all the time. So you're like, all right, I'll give some to some of this dog over here, no problem.
That's what the boss lady says anyway. I'm like, you could just give it to me, but
I know,
whatever.
Come on, man. Oh, cool.
Anyway, so today we are getting into Digimon World. Probably, if I had a top 5 games list, this would be right up there at the top. One of my favorite games I've ever played. A lot of nostalgia hanging out with this game and everything too. So I'm looking forward to getting into it.
Yeah, so it's so interesting because obviously Digimon is what a lot of people consider to be the less accepted or liked version of Pokemon, because they were basically, I mean, they came out similar times in like at least in the States. I think Digimon came out in like 99 and
1999.
Yeah, and
it
Pokemon was
10, or it turned 20 this year.
What was Pokemon 2000 or 1997 maybe? It's pretty close.
Yeah, I think in Japan it officially was like 94 or 95 or
yeah, but when it came to the States and got like really big, it was a couple years later, just like Digimon
96, 97.
Yeah. So,
yeah.
But we both love even just the original cartoon, anime, whatever you want to call it, and have loved, even the games and stuff. You know what's crazy about this is getting into this game. I thought was going like this is a complex RPG.
Yeah, this is a really complex but fun, and it's taken the whole kind of pet raising to a whole new level. Yeah,
it was much more like complex than I think I imagined, because of the fact that we've played the new one on PS4, and that game is almost like it's a very, very close mimic of this game, actually.
Yeah,
in my mind.
It is. It's just an evolved version of this game, but in a way, I think they've done too much with it almost. So we'll get into it, though. But funny story before we start. Sure. Digimon, one of our longtime kind of favorite things together. We've been Digimon was something like we didn't discover together. We became friends, and we were around 11 or 12, which was a few years after Digimon came out. But the first time I was ever over at your house, I remember like we were in your room and we were talking, and you're like, yeah, so what do you like? I was like, well, I really like Digimon. And you're like, oh, wait, hold up. And you pulled out that black Digivice, and then right in my pocket, I pulled out the same exact Digivice.
Dude, that's, if you think about it,
and
that
that's
was
how our
pretty much
friendship
our first
began.
Epic bonding experience as human beings right there.
Yeah, I knew we were going to be like best friends at that point. So it's just like, this dude loves Digimon.
He's got the black Digivice and I have the black Digivice.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh,
but anyway, so this game was in the era of Digivices before the show. So the Digimon World 2, which is a way less superior game to this, came out after the show started, so it was more directed at the show. This game was basically built off of that first Digivice they had, the rectangle one.
I had that one too.
I think you had that one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you had that one. I didn't have that one, but it was built off of that. It was a whole entire PlayStation game built off of that Digivice.
Wow.
Yeah, so a lot of the things that are in the show are kind of different a little bit in this game, as far as like the way Greymon or Metal Greymon looks, and there's no Tentamon that digivolves to Kabuterimon. It's Kunamon, Kabuterimon, and then Hercules Kabuterimon, which is the mega form and ultimate form.
So it's just a little bit of a different in general.
Yeah. So who did you start the game with, Agumon or Gabumon?
Agumon. Did I even have a choice? I just started with Agumon.
Yeah, so if you picked day, you would start with Agumon. If you pick night, you start with Gabumon.
Oh, I just was like, yeah, I like day, whatever.
yeah. So I picked night, and I started with Gabumon. So that's cool. We started differently.
Yeah.
But basically, it's kind of just like raise your pet type system with like a overarching RPG to the game.
Yeah. So with this one, as long as like I'm going to, I have to draw comparisons to the other game too, because like I've played that other game a lot, and so basically like the point of the game is to basically level up your pet or your Digimon, and to get him to like the next level, to your different stages or evolutions of like who he's going to be. So and the stronger he gets is basically that's how you can progress the story. You can't progress the story unless he gets stronger, and the way that you get him stronger is by training him in the gym. Like that's you have to like spend so much freaking time in the gym.
Yeah. Yep, that's right. And so like the game revolves around a young boy who's the protagonist, who is you name yourself. There's no stock name for it. So I always name it Mason, obviously.
Oh, really? I think I named him like my dude or something.
Oh, okay. And then, so who's drawn into the Digiworld through his virtual pet device, which is that original Digivice. And then greeted by Digimon, you get your trainer. You start with your first Digimon, and then you raise them. And they die as time goes on and reincarnate into another Digimon that you can cycle out through different Digimon and evolve to different ones. And his goal is to travel around File Island, locating all of the resident Digimon of File City who turned basically evil, and then bring them back to the city and build out the whole File City.
Yeah. Which is basically the same exact plot line as the new game.
Yeah.
Like,
yep, exactly.
Identical is you just bring Digimon back, and then I didn't get as far as this one as I was in the last one. Is there a bad one? Because in the new one, Machine Dramon still is like the overarching bad guy.
Yeah. So a little spoiler alert for the end. Machine Dramon is still the overarching bad guy in this one. Yeah.
Oh well, that's not. I mean, that's fine. Because like I said, it's basically like almost like a replica of this game.
Yeah, it's like almost like a remake. But it's cool because you'll notice in Digimon World New Order, the one of the guys you meet in the game is dressed like this kid from Digimon World.
Oh, that's funny.
So I haven't gotten far enough to that game to figure out if that is in fact him.
Mm-hmm.
Who's traveling around the digital world, but like I think that's where it connects.
Yeah. So did you find it like super hard? Because I know when I was playing that other game, I literally needed an Excel spreadsheet to get like the evolutions I wanted, and it was the same thing with this one. It's like to get the certain evolutions is just like it's freaking hard. Like
yeah. So like I said, this is one of my favorite games ever. I own the strategy guide to this game, the paper,
the original the ones like you would buy from like Walmart for $15.
Yep. Yeah, I have it. Yeah. So I got this game with the strategy guide. And there was a special Digimon battle card that came with it, with the game at the time. And I still have the disc for the game, and I don't have the case anymore or the booklet, but I have the Digimon card and the strategy guide.
You're legit,
held
dude.
on over there. Yeah, dude, I like refer to that thing all the time when playing this game because it's like it helps so much when you're trying to digivolve into different Digimon. And it's not real. I don't really view that as cheating because
you're
it's
so complex.
Get all the Digimon, and it's really complex, and you have to have the exact right kind of stats for your Digimon to digivolve into that certain one, or you'll get a Tyrannomon, and that's just a bummer.
Yeah.
So anyway, so you started with Agumon. Did you evolve to Champion?
No, I didn't evolve to Champion. I went out and I killed like a bunch of mobs, and I came back and I was basically just because I never played this game, so I'd like talk to everyone in the city. I was trying to and I started training, like that was it.
Yes. So you probably brought Agumon back to the city because that's like as soon as you go out, you fight him.
I did. Yeah.
Yeah. So you just kind of travel around File Island getting these Digimon, and what we're gonna do this week is we're gonna kind of give a primer to the game, and then we're gonna get back into this game next week. We're gonna have a part 2 on this one to kind of like get you some more time with the game because you really need more time in Digivolve to into Champion and to Ultimate and all that, and to really get the full effect. And I'm not saying you'll beat it or anything, but
it seems very long.
It's pretty intense. Like this may be one like we could do and then revisit in a few weeks if you want. We can do a primer and then do some other stuff and kind of like get through this game as well.
Yeah.
I don't know how you want to do it. I'm good either way. But
I think that'd be fine. I just know I spent some time with it. Normally, if you spend just even like a couple hours with most of the games that we play, like no problem, we can give it a really firm review. But this one it's a lot. I mean, I literally spent 30 minutes going through the menu, dog. Like,
Yeah, no, I know, dude. I know. It's like I can jump into this game and play it because I played it a bunch of times and just get right into what needs to happen. But I definitely understand, like, it takes a little bit of figuring before you can really get going on the game. But the way it twists and turns, and like the people, the different Digimon you're bringing back to the city, and how you watch the city grow, like, it's really cool. And so I definitely want you to spend more time. So yeah, let's do that in a couple weeks. We'll have like kind of a part 2 segment,
cool,
on the podcast. But anyway, so I started with Gabumon, and I was trying to get Garurumon, and ended up evolving into a Centarumon, which I wasn't mad about because I love Centarumon.
Yeah, man, he's a good little pony.
Yeah. And basically what happened with if you don't get enough weight, you have to have like your weight has to be at like 40 to evolve to Garurumon. And so my weight was nowhere near that. But as you build the city, you get bigger meat, and like, just everything kind of evolves. You eventually evolve your gym and things like that. So everything, you kind of get updates to everything, which makes it easier to digivolve into Champion and Ultimate.
Yeah, I mean, that was the same thing as the other game, and it seems like as your city evolved, at least in this one and the other one, is you'll go train, and instead of getting like 5 strength, you'll end up getting like 30 strength. So then you like evolving into your next one becomes like way quicker, and then they won't, obviously, because they all die eventually no matter what. So
yeah,
if you can get to like Ultimate or Mega or whatever without having them die before then.
Yeah.
Well,
yep. So
I never did this, but how if your guy dies in a battle 3 times, does he just immediately go back to egg form?
Yeah, you just restart.
Okay.
I don't know how that affects I think if your trainer level's higher than 1, you'll go back down. Yeah, you'll go down a level 2 if your Digimon dies. Yeah.
So I'll just make sure that doesn't happen.
So yeah, your tamer level is what it's called. But yeah, you can once you kind of get the hang of the game and everything, and you get going, it's you kind of just like, it's more about exploring File Island and going around to the different areas and doing the different instances and things like that. So, and you kind of get into the story a little more, and it's not, I wouldn't call it like a big story heavy game, but it definitely leads you to different parts, and then finally you get access to Infinity Mountain. And that's where you confront Analog Man and the Mega Machine Dramon, which is the 2 last bosses.
Yeah. When you originally played this, did you like beat them at the very end?
Yeah.
And you're like, how many times did your dude have to die before you were literally?
You just train him up, and once you get the city to a certain level, you can get there, and you want to be Ultimate, obviously, going in there. So I had a Hercules Kabuterimon and went in there and just took out the dungeon at the end of it. Yeah. Cool. So once you're like, but see, it's like a slow build to everything, so you kind of like, as you're building the city, your Digimon's getting stronger each time you die, and, it's easier to get to that level. And so you might go through it a few times, but in the end, you get to that point, and then, there's like tournaments and stuff that end up like you eventually get Greymon, and he puts a tournament area in there. So you like, there's battles and things like that. So it's pretty cool. And if you beat the game, you get there's a battle mode to this game too with your friends. Like, you could take your memory card and put it in slot 2 of the other person's PlayStation.
Oh, wow.
And then you could battle your Digimon. You can save them to like a bank, and you can battle all your old Digimon, which is cool.
Very cool.
Battle your friends. So, and then at the end of the game, when you beat it, Machine Dramon gets loaded onto that battle mode, so you can battle your friends with Machine Dramon, even though he's not a Digimon you can digivolve to in the game.
Interesting.
Yeah. So anyway, I think we should just hit the pause button on this and go and play, and then in a couple weeks we'll have a kind of a part 2 on this game.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, so I just want to say gut reactions is this game still surprised me on number one is the format that it laid down is pretty much what the new order on the PS4 is like.
Yeah.
So, and I think the battle in this one, because I only did probably like 5 battles, the battle sequence in this one felt better actually.
Yeah. No, it's like the New Order, what they did was they added another Digimon and a whole lot of extra to the game itself, and I can't like I guess I'm just programmed in having one Digimon and having to care for one, and that's just the simplicity of the game and what I liked about the game. It was harder for me to go from 1 to 2 because you're like, oh, this one's got to go to the bathroom. Oh, this one's got to eat. Oh, you're trying to sync them up, but it's hard sometimes.
Yeah, it's I don't know. It was very cool. I like as of right now, I really really enjoyed it. It's just I just need more time. It was way when we started doing this. I'm like, okay, I'll be able to just get into it, have a couple hours, but it just deserves a bigger.
Yeah. So like initially, how did you feel about the gameplay and like the graphics and things like that?
I think for PlayStation 1, I think the graphics were nice. Like I don't have any qualms at all. It's a little, it's as most PlayStation are. It's a little grainy. Is that the word? Yeah, it's grainy, but I think it's pretty fluid. Even going to the zones doesn't have epic load times, which is super nice.
Yeah. No, it's really fun and like you said, the graphics, and you can really tell what's what. The Digimon look really good, as far as everything goes.
Yeah, I'll just have to give it like a firm review. But I honestly, even I took a lot of time in the beginning because I was like reviewing or trying to give this thing an honest review of all the like the graphics and everything, and I liked it all. So
yeah. Cool. Well, I can't wait for you to like kind of get through the story and get more Digimon and get evolved to those different levels as you've done before in Next Order. But this is kind of the OG where it all came from. And I mean, I got like this game. You got to think about it. This is Digimon's first venture into a console game ever. Mm-hmm. The games they had before were the little Digivices where you just shoot the fireballs at each other. Mm-hmm. So, and there's actually a little callback in certain modes when you're fighting, like your Digimon will turn into that like little 2D Digimon art from the Digivice, and it'll just like fire those fireballs at them.
That's so
for
cool.
For like 20 seconds or something. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. You'll, I don't know how that happens, but,
I'll get it to happen.
Yeah, it'll happen. You'll be like, oh, snap, that's cool.
Very cool.
So anyway, I'll be interested to see what you Digivolve your Agumon into. And I think my Centauromon's about to die before he would evolve into like Andromon because I haven't done anything. I've been building up the city more. So
than training him because training takes a lot.
Yeah, there's kind of like 10 to 12 Digimon you need to gather before you really want to start evolving, so you can get to champion and then you can go out and fight a bunch and get this one, and this one. And then it's like, okay, your city's got some girth behind it,
right.
for lack of a better term. And then you can really start training and things like that. So it's cool.
Crazy. Well, that's good to know because my first thing is like, how do I get the biggest Digimon the fastest?
Yeah,
and that's
not going to happen in this game.
I know.
Yeah, and there's a couple like Game Shark things out there where you get like the special item to Digivolve into like Metal Edamon and Saber Leomon and things like that, which are like secrets to the game. You can't get them naturally.
Yeah.
So that's kind of cool too.
Nice. Well, cool, man. Let's put the pause button on that. I've been enjoying it so far. I just need more time. I highly like underestimated. Number one, the fun that I was having, but just what how vast of an RPG it was. It's not just like a train your Digimon up. It's like it's that plus a story, and the world is much bigger than I imagined.
Yeah, and if you're listening to this and you haven't played this game, figure out a way to get it, and then like play it along with us, obviously too. Like
yeah. So we kind of had an interesting way to get it as well, by the way, because it wasn't like a normal just download and play. Like it took us.
Oh yeah, it was a little bit of fun. But if you're good with like emulators and things like that, and like things that are out there, you can figure it out. It's not terrible. Like you just go through the emulator. It'll be like you need these files, and then you put those files in there. So it's just you got to set up your PlayStation emulator before you can actually play any game on PlayStation emulator. So
yeah, very very true. And hey, the good thing is we ain't cheating because you got the game in the flesh.
Shoot, I got it, man. I own it. I own the strategy guide and the special Digimon card. Come at me. And as I was looking through my I call it my nostalgia box that my wife hates. It's this dusty box that just has all my stuff in it.
Why she hate it, man? That's some good stuff right there.
It's just in the way.
But
That's
what happens when you have two kids. You just start being in the way. You're like, God, Mason, just get out of here. You're just in the way.
Yeah, I found my copy of Digimon World 3, which is also another one of my favorite Digimon games.
So that's the one that I played. Yep. I played like a ton of, but it was more of like a Final Fantasy story driven, but it was also like turn based.
Yeah, it's a straight up turn based RPG.
Yeah, and I did not like that. I mean, it was okay. I didn't hate it, but it just was like it was so grindy. I mean, that's like back in the day when like grindy games were like good, and now it's like. I like a little bit of a grind, but if you're literally just grinding it out that bad, it's like, ouch.
Yeah, it gets irritating. That's why I like some of the new style, like Pokemon Go, how they've done it, where you don't have to grind as much to get through the game. You actually see the enemies coming at you.
Dude, even the original Pokemon, in comparison to Digimon 3 was like a cakewalk. Like, God, Digimon 3 was rough, and whenever I played it, I remember just being like, I think I've embedded like literally 30 hours in that game, and I wasn't even like a quarter of the way done. It was just like, oh my God.
Yeah, but back to my original story, I found that copy of the game, which actually you bought me as a gift back in the day. So.
I did. I remember finding it. I'm like, I know who's gonna like this. My buddy.
You got two of them, and you got one for yourself and one for me, and I still got it.
Oh man, I wish I could say the same, but I don't have it.
It's probably your parents' house somewhere. Let's be honest,
dude. My parents don't have a house anymore. Remember that?
Oh, that's true. They sold their house. Crazy.
Yeah. So if it's at the house, then some other person has it, not my parents.
Sad. Oh well. But anyway, this game does make me want to play Next Order as well after I'm done.
Yeah, I'm gonna beat that game because I mean we both had quite a like number of hours in it. I mean we were pretty far in it, so it's just time to break it back open.
Yeah. And we need to figure out how to battle in that game because there's a way to save your Digimon and then battle them later and stuff like that too. Man, so I just never got that far into it. But the city's much more interactive with like having internet access in that game as well, which is cool because you can like get upgrades for your city that has like festivals and things like that too throughout the year.
Very cool.
Yeah, it's neat. But anyway, so we'll put a pause button on Digimon World and we'll come back to it. Kind of just like a smaller ending review to it, just kind of like, hey, this is what you thought of the game, my final review of the game, which is probably going to be really high.
If it wasn't high, I would be like, who am I talking to?
I'm like, God, I love this game, so awesome. Yeah, I give it like a 3 though. Just kidding.
I mean, but in reality, it sucks.
Yeah.
No, it's actually pretty good. It's actually really good.
Funny.
I mean, so I wouldn't be playing it or wanting to even play it past 1 week if I didn't like it or find joy. Unless I'm just insane, but whatever.
Yeah, but it's one of those games you can like lay around and play at night too, which is cool. So.
True.
All right, so next, kind of moving on the other Mon platform, the Pokemon front. There was some news that came out this week. They're basically announced a new version of the Pokemon Bank, which is called Pokemon Home, which ties all your Digimon from all your Pokemon from all platforms together.
Yeah, it's pretty nuts. I'm kind of surprised they've done this just because I guess they really just want like you to be like they love collection, like true collection. I guess like to get attached to certain Pokemon and then just take them in the bank or like cross-platform to any of your games, which I like. I think that's cool. If you really like a couple, you can always have them.
Yeah, definitely. I agree with that, and it's coming out for iOS, Android devices, and Nintendo Switch. So that'll be a new app coming soon. Basically replacing the old Pokemon Bank that was on the 3DS and all that. It's all tied to your Nintendo account, which is cool because I have a ton of Pokemon that I put in that bank before I got rid of my 3DS. So,
man, good for you. I did not have. I didn't even know what the bank was, but I
took them all. Yeah.
Did you play Sun and Moon?
Yeah. So I put all my Moon Pokemon in there. All my the one before that, the remake. What was it? Ruby and Sapphire.
The fire.
Put all my Pokemon from that,
Fire Red.
and then And then I had a bunch because they opened up the bank because they ported all the games, all the Game Boy original games to 3DS, and I got Blue, and I put my Pokemon from that in the bank as well. So my bank's pretty full.
Dang, dude, like you have a lot. I didn't know you were this deep in the hole of the Pokemon.
Well, I just hid them away. I was just like, I'll see you eventually, and then I traded my 3DS in for my Switch.
Oh, that's funny.
But I was just like, I made sure before I got rid of everything to like put all that in the bank, and it's just there in the cloud waiting for me to come find them.
I mean, obviously that's kind of cool though. I mean, that's the fact of the bank is you can just, all right, I'm never going to play this version of this game before, but I like, I've trained these Pokemon for freaking hours, and now I want to take them with me, and you can take them the next game or to, whatever. It's definitely satisfying for you to continue on your journey of Pokemon rather than being like, oh, well, I just did this, and the next game I'm going to have a level 1, and I'm never going to see these other ones I trained.
Yeah, and I also put a lot of young Pokemon in the bank for the Pokemon game that would come out that would be accessible from the bank. So, like, I'm going to pull some of those and do my Sword and Shield adventure with some of those Pokemon on my team from the other games.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah, so, and they're younger too, so it's not like I'm cheating, like pulling a level 50 out, just to run through the whole game with me. But
yeah, but they, I mean, I know they like, that they, for instance, I had ones from Pokemon Go that I pulled into Let's Go Pikachu, and they level adjust though. So
yeah, and I don't know if that's how it's going to work with this or not, because like I think they keep their same level because that's how it worked with the bank.
Oh,
so you could, because I could pull out my Ruby and Sapphire Pokemon, and they'd be like level 50 from the start.
Oh wow!
So, of Sun and Moon. Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, I don't know. That's so. But you remember your trainer level affects that too, because that's as you get gyms. That's where it says like, oh, you can control Pokemon up to level 50. So it's
that's true.
You still can't.
If you
cheat.
Got one, you still can't.
Yeah,
you still can't control it. Yeah, that makes sense.
You really can't cheat because like it'll say like I think it'll just hurt itself in confusion when you're trying to control like level 40 Pokemon when you're level like 1 or whatever.
Yeah, true that.
So
so the next announcement was a game called Pokemon Sleep.
It's like a sleep monitor for your wrist,
which is really cool. I think we don't really have a whole lot of time to get into the weeds of it today, but it's like it's trying to encourage kids to sleep better, which is cool, and you get rewards in like a Pokemon game. So
yeah, I don't know in reality how they're going to implement that and make it enjoyable, but hey, I'm down.
Yeah, I don't either, and see what it is really in the daytime, when you're not sleeping, or if it connects to Pokemon Go, if it's just like a reward system for that. But they're saying it's a whole new app, so
it depends
I'll be interested.
How expensive it is too, because the Pokemon Plus thing is what, $30?
Yeah.
So there's a new Pokemon Plus coming with that.
Plus. Yeah, it's a Pokemon Plus.
Yeah, it's Pokemon Plus. So I mean,
name.
If it's I know it's stupid, but if it's $40, like that seems a little too much. You can literally buy like a Fitbit.
Yeah. Yeah, and I don't know if that's going to require that or whatnot. It doesn't really say, but I'm definitely interested to hear more about it, and we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, sure, Pokemon hasn't really led me astray thus far, so who knows.
Yep, and then finally or not really the last one, but the newish thing is going to be this iOS and Android game called Pokemon Masters, which lets you battle Pokemon Masters from the past. And I don't exactly know how all that's going to work out either, but that's kind of what they teased, and that's coming out this year.
Very cool. Maybe it's like the gym leaders or from all the games or.
Yeah, it says fans can expect more details about this new mobile game in June. So, yeah, but it's going to feature a lot of the gym leaders and like Ash and, different people from just the Pokemon lore.
Wait, how can I fight Ash when I name my character Ash?
Well, it'll be Ash. Ash for
Dude,
Ash.
One of these Ashes are trash.
That's so funny. You name them like different things. I'm like, I want to be the game, so I like put my name in there every time.
It's only pretty much no. I always name them like and when I play Pokemon, it's always Ash, and my rival's always Gary, 100%.
That's funny. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man, good.
It's because I don't like myself as much as you, Mason. Okay, so
I know I'm just very self-centered here.
I mean, true.
I just want a VR Pokemon game. Just do that.
True.
Give me that VR MMO Okay, just do that for me. Okay, can you just stop fooling around with all this mobile crap and just give me a VR MMO?
Dude, I'm down.
Yeah. And then, okay, so the last announcement they had was the follow-up to Detective Pikachu coming to Nintendo Switch. So it'll be the 3DS game, not the movie. I guess it ended on a cliffhanger, and this game will be the conclusion to that story.
Yeah, I never played that
didn't
game,
play it.
but I'll play the Switch one.
Yeah, I will too. And hopefully they'll release the 3DS one on the Switch that I can play as well.
Yeah, for sure. I'm down.
Okay, cool. So another little announcement that's just kind of like a tease. Marvel's Avengers Square Enix game that's being produced by Square Enix is they teased that, so it's going to be part of the event, the Square event at E3.
I'm interested.
Definitely.
I wonder how it's going to be.
Excited. Just from the little teaser we got of like what it's going to look like a couple years ago. It looks pretty sweet. I'm pretty excited to hear more. So I guess the Square Enix event really is going to be highlighted with Final Fantasy VII in this game. So they've been teasing it pretty hard. So that's going to be a good one. I'm going to be tuning in for that. It begins June 10th at 6 p.m.
Okay. Yeah, very nice.
So mark that on the calendar. I'll be watching that one live Pacific time, so that'll be 4 o'clock our time.
Nice.
Okay, so the next one is, did you see the Aladdin movie?
So I have not. I'm seeing it Saturday when my wife returns from the hospital.
Cool. So just think one thing while you're watching the movie. Think Hitch.
Is Genie like Hitch?
It's gonna be a remake of Hitch in a Disney form. So just think, if you haven't seen that movie recently, go watch it before you watch that movie, and then just watch all of the things that happen in the movie that are just like Hitch.
Oh, that's so funny. So, do you have a rating for it? Just like don't spoil it, but you just have actually not spoil it. It's freaking Aladdin.
Yeah.
Did you have like just a base rating that like? I mean, we can talk about it next week, but
yeah, they changed some core things in it that I wasn't like heavily wild about, but overall it was good. So,
like out of 10,
I give it about. It's never going to be as good as the original, obviously. I'll give it. I give it like a 6.
6.
You know.
So
yeah, I'm not like.
Did you like?
I wasn't like crazy, like oh my god, walked away and be like, this is awesome. You know, like I have with some of these other live action Disneys.
Yeah, I was about to say, did you see Beauty and the Beast?
Yeah, I loved it. I thought it was great.
Yeah, that one was like fantastic in my opinion.
This was like a poor man's version of that.
Okay,
with more humor.
That's exactly what I'm expecting. So
yeah, so that's good.
Because Beauty and the Beast was like, I mean, I thought they did it as good as the original. I really liked it.
Yeah, this movie is more of a musical than the original one felt. You know,
really?
Like the original was a musical, but this was felt like a play almost, because sometimes the camera would pan away and he'd walk off set. You know, it'd show like a almost like a play. So
that's weird. I don't know if I like about that. That's okay. I'll go see it. We can talk about it.
Yeah, go see it and then we can talk about it. But think Hitch, and it's pretty funny. So unless there's anything else on your mind, I think that pretty much wraps us up for today.
Nope. I think that's it.
Yep, kind of hit some of the points. Looking forward to E3. We will have an E3 roundup that we do after E3 is over, just kind of the highlights and things that we are excited about or things we didn't think that looked so sweet or whatnot. So
cool. Yeah, man. I think that's it. We'll get back to Digimon and kind of give it a final score. I need to finish it, but yeah.
Yeah, so do you want to do that over the next week or and put a book on that next week, or do you want to play another game in between and kind of play that as like a overarching one?
Let's just extend it to one more week, and then I don't know if I'm going to beat it, but I at least want to get to Ultimate, and we'll just kind of be able to get to some of the zones to give it a fair review.
Yeah, and collect some of the city and watch it grow.
Exactly.
Cool.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so. Okay, cool, man. Well, let's do that then, and Digimon Part 2 next week, and we'll figure out something else after that. So,
all right, brother. Sounds good.
Yep. Well, it's good to talk to you. Sorry about the other break, but this is just going to be that kind of podcast.
Hey, it has to be because we both have insanely busy lives, and we can't always.
If this was our job, we could do it every week.
Exactly.
So listen to us so we can get sponsored, and then we don't have to do our other jobs.
Dude, You're speaking the truth right there.
Tell your
Preach
friends. Yeah. Anyway, but once again, thanks for all the listeners. If you ever want to write us a question, kitgpodcast@gmail.com, or you can hit us up on Twitter, kitgpodcast, and Instagram the same. So,
all right,
check us out.
Yeah, do that, please.
All right, bro. We will chat with you next week.
All right, man. Out.
Peace. If you'd like to send us a message, you can email us at kitgpodcast@gmail.com or tweet us at kitgpodcast on Twitter.